first year in Texas. I had a Ford something or other convertible with no air conditioning. So I felt like a blast furnace every day I drove to the ballpark.
How about this one, Tom? I'm sure that car didn't have electric windows either. It had a crank down window.
I don't know if it had electric steering. I don't know. Yeah, but I do. But you know, you didn't even think of it at the time. Okay, I'm getting in the car, I'm going to the ballpark. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit hot, but you know, it's what it is. You just deal with it. We're going outside to take batting practice. Yep, it's hot. Well, that's the way it goes. I'm just happy to be in the big leagues.
Hey, and it wasn't just batting practice, infield too.
Yeah, we took infield practice. Exactly, Mac. You took batting practice, went back inside, and then came back out and took 10 or 15 minutes of infield practice.
Infield?
Yeah,
what's
which
infield?
Doesn't even happen nowadays.
What is infield? Yeah.
That's where a player goes to every position, and a man with a fungo hits balls, and you throw them to the bases. Wow. It was so much fun. I like doing it.
I love it.
We'd take a second infield, and there was never enough infielders, so the outfielders would fight to get a chance to take infield at shortstop. The fans that were there early loved to watch it because they could say, let's see who's got the best arm in the outfield. Who's the slickest guy around the bag? So, yeah, it's something that's missing from the game now that'll never be back. And fans, I guess the fans today don't know it and don't know what they're missing. But it was a big part of baseball way back then. Yeah. Did you take infield, Mac? Did you?
Absolutely. Especially coming up with the Angels. We took it every single day. And if you were even if you weren't in the lineup, you were required to take infield, and if you didn't, you had to have an injury, and you had to let one of the coaches know that you weren't taking infield, because if you weren't out there for infield, you were probably going to get fined, and you were going to have a visit from the manager. So yes, we were taking infield from the minor leagues all the way up, and I think it's a lost art because I think you really get to go out there, and show off a little bit, but it's something you work on. You're still taking ground balls. Yes, you take ground ball practice during batting practice sometimes, but if you don't, you can always go out there for infield, and that got me ready for the game, which was going to start in about 15 or 20 minutes.
And how much fun would it be for fans in Cleveland to have watched Omar Vizquel take infield practice with Robbie Alomar?
Right.
You know, because they would really be putting on a show for the fans.
Yeah, and I can't place exactly when or why or how it all disappeared, but it did.
Yeah, and along with what Mac was saying, every manager I had said, if you can't take infield practice, then you can't play.
Yep.
If you're hurt enough to where you can't take infield practice, then I'm certainly not going to be able to play you in the game.
There you go.
You just took it.
Yeah, and so if you were hurting a little bit and you wanted to play, you were taking infield.
Oh, yeah.
I just remembered about 2003, 2004 is about when it died, because I can remember coming up in the minor leagues in the late 90s, we still did it, and right around somewhere between about 2002, 2004, so it was about where I can remember that the infielders didn't do it anymore, outfielders didn't do it.
I think it was a little bit sooner than that, because I retired in 04, and I know we hadn't taken it for years. So I think some teams might still have been taking it, but a lot of teams stopped doing it. I know the Angels were ironically, one of the teams that stopped taking it early, and it was crazy to me. It really left a void for me, because that was something that I always used to get ready for the game, which was 15, 20 minutes later.
To your point, I think Tom Kelly and the Minnesota Twins were one of the last teams to still do it, because I remember they would go out and still do it when most teams were like, we don't do this anymore.
Yeah, I've got a funny story about infield. We would do that here with the Rangers, and we used to tease Rusty all the time about Rusty being ready for the game. We would take infield, so the outfielders take it first, they make their throws, and then they go off the field. And so we've got the infielders to finish it up, and that would take another 5 minutes, maybe, max. And by the time we would come off the field as infielders, Rusty would be back in the dugout in full uniform, ready to go. And we were like, dude, if you are down here one more time before we come off the field. It was hilarious. Will used to really grill him about that. But yeah, to this day, we still get on him about that.
That's funny.
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, this is a special edition of Rangers Live, and today brought to you by Frontier Communications. Don't go it alone. Steve-O Spencer, look at him, man. He is looking dapper with that home plate. And Mayor Green right behind him.
It's the shoes.
I didn't even see the shoes.
Oh, there we go.
Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. How about the crowd? What a crowd today.
That's
Look
awesome.
at the crowd outside.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. So here it comes, home plate heading in, and this is just outside. He's trying to get a look. So that bad boy will be put in place. I don't know how they're going to get it in place with all those cranes and whatnot over there, but I guess that'll be the big surprise.
Yeah, I don't think everybody's going in. I think just the mayors and a couple of select people are going to go in and put the home plate in there.
I come to you. He's talking about the
So now we're in the second wave of the transportation. Everybody wants to put that home plate on the pillow. Steve-O's not letting it go.
He is not letting it go.
He's got a
getting
job
that
and he's going to do it.
He's getting that TV time in.
Hey, have you guys been across the street yet to check out the new digs? Have you had a chance?
I have not been over there yet. I'm going to wait until it gets a little bit closer to being completed, because I really want to see where we're going to be at next year. Yeah. And I'm not quite sure that that's up just yet.
I have not either.
So because I was just going to point out one of the things, we just saw that shot of the fans out front, but you can see the ballpark here from inside Globe Life Field. That's the scene inside. People craning their necks, get it, to see inside. Look at all these folks. That is awesome. But when you look back from home plate, or the home plate area, we have such a gorgeous view here of the offices and the outfield from where we sit now. But from that ballpark, you will look back, and at least over the left field side, we'll still get a good glimpse of Globe Life Park off in the distance. So there it goes. Johnny Radigan getting ready across the street for his big portion of the broadcast here. A lot of infield talk today. And what a fun finish, too. And for you guys, all you guys played and were a part of teams that didn't go to the postseason on occasion. How big is it? How cool is it to get that last win like the Rangers did get today? Is there something to taking a good positive note into the offseason for these guys?
Oh, for sure.
I'm sorry. What's that?
Go ahead, Mac.
Yeah, I think so for sure. You have a very good feeling, and you won the series against a team that won 103 ball games, and they're going on the postseason, and that team just happens to be the Yankees. That might be just my personal take. But, yeah, I think you carry that into the offseason, saying, okay, we finished on a positive note. Let's start off the new season in the new ballpark on a very good, positive note. So, yeah, I think winning 2 out of the last 3 definitely helps them going into the offseason.
Yeah, and I would say also that while you're playing the game in front of your hometown crowd, I think it feels a little bit bigger when you're home as opposed to on the road. But when you're home and there's 47,000 people at the game and they're excited and they want to celebrate the old stadium and it's the Yankees, you want to play well for them. You want to play well individually and you want to win the game so that when the last out is made, 47,000 people are standing on their feet and cheering. Doesn't mean anything in the standings, but it's a much better feeling to win that game, and it's a great feeling for every player. I think sometimes the fans don't realize how badly the players want to please the fans. When you come up and the fans are on their feet and there's a man on base and it's your job to move them over or get them in, you feel terrible when you're not able to do it. You feel terrible for your team and yourself, but for a large part, you feel terrible because you let the fans down. And to win today and to win this game, the last game for the fans, I think it is a big deal for the players. I know they all feel that way.
Look at this young lady and the obvious emotion. She's fighting right now, dealing with the emotions of saying goodbye. Goodbyes are never fun. They're never easy. And there's so much, and memories are so layered in this ballpark. A lot of smiles, though, out and around. I think people had a blast today. That's the important thing. And then I think you also, we'd all be well served to think about the next era and what this means moving across the street. What does it mean for free agency? What will it mean for the construction of this team? The other thing, what is this ballpark going to look like? How's it going to play? Is it going to be a hitter's park, pitcher's park? Is the ball going to carry inside there? Home plate continuing to make its way. They could have cleaned up a bit.
A little dirty?
Yeah. There's the old house. Home plate's old home right there. And it is on its way. By the way, the distance from the home plate to the backstop at the new park is like 42 feet. It's really close. So you're not going to have too many of those wild pitches running a long ways away with guys circling the bases. The ball's going to get back to the catcher in a hurry.
We couldn't get John Blake a golf cart there. He has to
What's
jog,
up with
huh?
that?
Good observation, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, that is truly the observation of the show. How does John Blake not get a cart? Yeah. All right, I think John Radigan standing by across the street, and he has eyes on home plate. Rads?